uncanny the way it talks back to you.
Christ, you made me jump.
Sorry, but isn't it?
It's only while I'm doing the lessons.
I'm starving. Can I have one of your truffles?
Just one. They're expensive.
Tantalus, I really am starving.
No wonder. How old are you, Bean?
You know jolly well. And I haven't grown since Christmas. Think I must have got acromegaly.
What's acromegaly?
It's when your pituitary goes wrong, and they have to take it away and it makes you sterile.
I thought that was gigantism.
Could be. Anyway.
You're not having another.
That'll be more.
She promised to bring back a takeaway. Fringe benefits of having a working mother. All this junk food.
It's because both the parents are doctors. Only amateurs bang on about brown rice and salads.
Rods up!
Chinese.
Cheers.
I'll tell you about my bit of Kashmiri crackling. She wasn't that much to look at, tell you the truth. But I'd had a few. Besides, I always wondered what those Indian birds wore under their saris. Anyway, one thing leads to another, and very nice it was too. Little sleep, and I wake up with a thirst like you wouldn't believe. Because the curry. And there's this glass of water beside the bed. So I drink it down, roll over and go to sleep again. The next thing I know, it's morning, and she's thumping me and screaming fit to wake the dead. I don't know why I bother.
What?
Well, here I am, trying to take your mind off the masochistic anguish caused by spying on your wife, and you aren't even listening.
Oh, I'm sorry, Ma.
Let's have a look. What's this? Where'd you get this?
Oh, a relation of mine of sorts up north. Take to sending me these. Some sort of in-joke, I imagine, but I can't crack the code.
That's probably based on a line of a book.
Huh?
Maybe it's a Shakespeare or the Bible.
Explain.
Well, take a sentence. Any sentence. Where's the menu? The favourite dish of the Mughal Emperor Babur, lovingly recreated by a chef, blah, 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 blah. Right? What you do is make each letter represent its equivalent in the alphabet. As here. T stands for A, H stands for B, E stands for C, F stands for D, so on and so forth.
Kim Philby died in 1988, just in time to be buried as a Soviet hero. The successors of the spy masters he served, the Russian intelligence service, are now opening up the KGB's files.
Amazing.
Secrets about the treachery
Just like
of
schoolboys.
agents. The new
Like
files
so many
include
school children playing games.
minutes from the late
Or at least, thank God, the end of the Cold War's put a stop to all that nonsense.
The papers were photographed by a senior British diplomat, Donald Maclean.
Anyway, cut a long story short, it turns out, how was I to know, she'd been wearing contact lenses. After we'd done the business and I dropped off, she put them in this glass of water to clean them. I'd only gone and swallowed the bloody things. All I can say is, thank God they were made of plastic. Oh dear. You coming in for a quick one?
No, I better not. Must be near the limit as it is.
I never ask him how to drink and drive. Well, you shouldn't really be rushing about in a motorbike, a man of your age.
That's what Jennifer always used to say.
Forget the woman.
I wish to God I could.
She's left you. She's gone off with another man. What does this Peter Mullen do, anyway?
He teaches at the Poly.
Forget it. Somehow or other, one has got to forget these things.
True enough. Right, Mark. Bye. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. A equals I, B equals MC, plus T, D equals H, T, E, B, T. Does make sense?
I think we should meet and have a talk. Pick up the pieces and each of us start again.
Mozart Symphony Number 41, The Jupiter, played by the Concertgebouw Orchestra of Amsterdam.
Scratch a scratch can.
Healthy food, Ma. Whatever next?
Any more barracking, and I shall stop catering for you two at weekends and give you a meal allowance instead.
Promise?
That'll do. Hell. Oh, I'm so sorry, my dear, but these people simply don't realize how the rest of us live. Can you credit it? We have to wait another month for the planning committee's decision on the surgery extension.
What a nuisance.
But don't you understand, dear? In the meantime, I could lose the other property.
Darling, of course I understand. There's absolutely nothing we can do about it, is there?
Old man's gone very quiet.
He's writing to his wife.
How can you tell?
I can always tell. He's been fiddling and farting about with that letter all morning.
She done a runner on him, didn't she?
Mind your own.
Look who's talking.
Hello. Is Mr. Creevy about? He's in his office. Who should I say?
We'll introduce ourselves.
I'm a turnaround. I'm a super slurper. I'm a basket case. I'm an empty nester.
Oh, you've got a job for life there.
It's simply a case of finding common ground. I'm thinking of trying him on Latin.
Festina lente, I suggest.
Festina lente. Festina lente.
I'm sorry if we've given you a shock, Mr. Creevy.
I hope you'll come to see things differently when you pull yourself together a bit.
You don't understand. He's my oldest friend. He was Cherry's fiancé. He's been through all this once. He was cleared.
There was insufficient evidence to charge him.
Or anyone else.
Which is why we were brought in to review the case.
We're not just checking up on your friend, Mr. Sims.
Well, frankly, I'd have thought you'd have been pleased that the police have made a fresh effort to find your sister's murderer and bring him to justice.
Yes, of course. But is there to be no end to this nightmare?
Well, at least you know the score now. If you do think of anything, you know where to find us.
It must be painful for you, even after all this time.
Don't you forget, Even if you have to tie him down, you make sure he stays in bed till I've been back and sounded out that chest of his again. Right.
You're a quick reader. You only took those out the other day.
Yes.
Well, how about a bit of non-fiction this time? By that man that tipped off Burgess and McLean. Remember?
Yes, I can remember, but you can't, surely.
Well, no, not exactly remember, not personally. Just a minute. You could always ring the changes with this one.
Yes, thank you. You're very kind.
You looking for something?
Somewhere to keep my floppies.
Oh, what's wrong with your room?
Suppose there was a fire. If I kept my floppy disks with my hard disk, I'd lose everything.
Yes, I suppose you would. Tell me, do you think Mungo goes to pubs?
Mungo? Wouldn't even have a glass of wine at my coming-of-age party.
It's true.
Just the joke. Of course, he could be a secret drinker. Shouldn't worry about it, Dad.
Leviathan, Dragon, and Basilisk.
Unfortunate name.
Is it? He's got a son at Tutting, Charles Mapledine.
What chap? He gets teased, are they, bound?
Teased? Why would he be?
Well, Mabel. I suppose he gets called Mabel, doesn't he? How'd you come to know him?
What?
Well, your schools don't mix much, do they? I remember there was considerable rivalry in my day.
Things have changed since your day. They have girls at Tutting now.
Good God.
I get to a crown of snakes. Here, I got this for you. How does he do it? Search me. It's all bull about passive snake, you know. The worst can do is stop you growing. How do you reckon Charles Mapledine did it, though? The same sleight of hand that got us into here. I don't know. But you tell me, why do we call him Charles Mapledine? I mean, why not just Charles? No idea, but I know what you mean. Got any money? Not what you call real money. I'm talking fish and chips. Okay, anything to get you and your fags out of the safe house. Did you take the list off the wall? Me? No way. Must have been Charles Mapledine then. There you go again. New code starts tomorrow. The Bruce Partington plans. Why are all our people illiterate? I bet Moscow Centre doesn't have this sort of thing to contend with.
Leviathan to Dragon and Basilisk. Ignore all Tozo's commands henceforward. Bruce Partington commences October 1. Jen?
What's your cock?
Oh, it's you.
Come on, come in. You catch a cold out there. We're not going to run away from this, either of us. I've been thinking about this, you and me, I mean, for a long time. Years, actually. Us having, well, quite a lot in common. It's high time. No, I could do us both good to express our feelings.
About what?
Each other? Whatever. Our feelings in general, really. Might help to bring up a lot of, well, buried pain.
Thanks, but I've got about as much as I can cope with just at the minute.
There's a fallacy.
Anyway, have we got so much in common? You and I? I mean, as distinct from any other two middle-aged, middle-class men?
We both lost the women we loved.
I was, may I remind you, happily married to Jennifer when she left me to go back to Peter Mullin. Now, I don't deny that you were in love with my sister, And that astonishingly you found her beautiful, but you were only engaged to her.
Cherry, her name was Cherry.
You were only engaged to my sister Cherry when she was killed.
Murdered? Cherry wasn't killed, she was murdered. May I remind you, you pedantic twerp, that I was the prime suspect.
Yes, as a matter of fact.
You see? We've talked. God knows we've talked every which way around the tragedies that have blighted our lives. We've never really been able to open up to one another about them. No, listen. There are things which I haven't been able to think of, let alone talk to anyone about, Cherry. With you and Jennifer, it must be the same.
It's getting late.
A very conventional sort of person, aren't you, John? Not to say routine-driven. Life will always pass you by because your petty rituals are more important to you than your or anyone else's happiness or pain. I'm being very frank.
Come on, Mark. Thanks for the beer.
That's what friends are for. Or something.
Come. I don't suppose you happen to know who said, "Beware of all enterprises that require new clothes."
Sorry. As a matter of fact, I came to ask you a favour. Can I use the computer?
I don't know how to.
I thought you might show me.
It'd be easier if I did it for you. You don't want me to know what you're up to?
Not really. Look, I happen to know, don't ask me how, that Dad's planning permission's been approved. And you've seen how it's been getting him down, so I thought I might put him out of his misery.
By forging a letter to tell him?
I thought it would look official down on the computer. I've got a bit of the right paper. Well, not quite right, it's City Council, not City Planning. But Dad won't know.
Crafty sod.
You'll do it for me then?
I'll do it for Dad, as long as you're sure.
100%.
Pick up the pieces and each of us start again.
Not on the bike today, I see.
No, I'm on the trail of a writer called Bruce Partington.
I don't think, but bear with me just a minute. No, we don't seem to have anybody on record between Parker and Patterson. The name does ring a bell, though. If you like, I could see what I could dig up over the weekend.
Would you?
It would be a pleasure, Mr. Creevy.
Oh, John, please. What's your name, by the way?
Penelope.
It's unusual.
Blame my mother. She had classical pretensions.
Don't knock it. It's a lovely name, and it suits you. I'll see you first thing on Monday, then.
Hello?
Hello. It's good to see you again, Jennifer. Would you like some tea? We could have tea and cakes.
No, I don't want anything, thank you. You've lost weight.
This makes it better for me. Would you like to go for a walk? We could go to Lady Arabella's garden. I've just come from there. It's quite beautiful.
Well, we may as well stay here.
Why did you ask me to come? What do you want, Jennifer?
A divorce. I want a divorce.
Are you going to marry him? What guarantee do you have this time that he won't turn tail and run the day before the wedding?
Well, that's my problem. He won't, though. It's different this time. I don't want to wait 5 years. I want you to divorce me for adultery with Peter.
Why should I?
Because I ask you, John. It was a mistake our marrying in the first place. We made a mistake.
I didn't make a mistake. I fell in love. And I married the woman I loved, and as far as I was concerned, I hoped to stay that way until I died. Or she did. I'm still in love with you, Jennifer, and I still want that.
It's impossible.
You're my wife. Doesn't that mean anything? All right, it was only a registry office wedding, but... Oh, what's so special about Peter, anyway? He's not particularly good-looking, and he's certainly not reliable.
He's clever. He's funny. He makes me laugh. We speak the same language.
Hasn't got much of a job, has he? Part-time teaching at the Poly. And that hovel.
Well, you don't love people because they're good breadwinners.
Evidently. He deserted you once. Did you ever find out why?
It doesn't matter.
I'll never divorce you. You'll have to wait 5 years before you can marry that. He'll have left you by then.
Why do we call him Charles Mabledean? Why not just Charles? Come in. Don't do that. Sit down.
Why are you called Mungo?
After Mungo Park, the explorer. He was Scottish too, and a doctor. We're all doctors in my family.
I suppose that's why people call you Bean, because of mung beans.
No one but my brother calls me Bean. Absolutely no one.
Fine.
How did you find out that planning permission for the surgery had been approved?
I asked my mother. Indirectly, of course. She wants to open a new salon. Hairdressers. I told her I'd heard the doctor's surgery was up for sale. The wife of head of city planning being inclined. Sure enough, they were invited round to dinner within days. He said he was surprised, that he understood that approval for the surgery extension was a mere formality. I wasn't present. I taped it.
You what? Oh, hello, Dragon. How'd you get in?
Through the main gate. I told the porter I had an appointment with the headmaster.
You're lucky you don't have to wear a uniform. Oh! I asked you not to do that.
I couldn't resist it. Sorry. As I was saying, my mother goes in for these dried flower arrangements. I concealed the microphone in the middle of one of them. That's why the recording's a bit muzzy.
Do you often bug your parents' conversations?
Only if I think something useful might be said.
Useful?
Something I could put to use.
Hello. I've given you offers a bad job.
Oh, I'm sorry about this morning.
Are you all right?
Fine, yes. Just one or two problems, that's all.
At work? Sorry, I don't mean to pry. Well, let's hope this cheers you up a bit. The penny finally dropped. About Bruce Partington. Oh, he's not an author. It's the title of a Sherlock Holmes story. The Bruce Partington plans. Here, I got it out for you. I was just going to drop it round at your house.
Oh, Penelope, you're a wonderful woman.
Thank God I checked the place out. There's a mob from Ussing in there waiting for you. Here. The rock salmon's good, though.
Dragon to Leviathan, re-planning permission, anticipate formal confirmation.
Are you saying we've got a leak?
There's no other explanation. I mean, never mind that we've totally failed to crack their new code. This is the third time Moscow's cracked ours in as many months. I nearly walked into a trap at the Chippies.
We've got a mole. Is that what you're saying?
It's what every departmental head dreads, Gray. And do you know what I'm most afraid of? Disinformation. I mean, suppose planning permission's been refused, not granted.
We won't have to look far to find the culprit. Charles Mabledean.
Much more of this and you'll be talking in code.
I might as well, for all the good I do with standard English.
There's something missing. Got it. The picture of your I was going to say of your nearest and dearest.
Met with an accident.
Serve her right, asking for a quickie divorce. The cheek of it.
To Jennifer.
And all who said in her.
I've been thinking.
A dangerous habit.
What it is, though, and what you were saying the other evening.
No, draw a veil over it. Not least of all because I got into a lot of trouble after you'd stormed off into the night.
No, listen. I've never told anyone this. But I was a virgin when I married Jennifer.
You don't believe it?
35-year-old virgin.
Endangered species.
Funny thing is, it was all right on the night, more or less. Now, if she'd left me then, I'd have understood, but she didn't, you see. Far from it. She took control in that department. Made going to bed a whole different experience, I can tell you. How could she do that? And then leave me? It's where there's no comparison, you see, between Jenny leaving me and you losing someone as sweet and innocent as Cherry.
Sweet is arguable, but innocent. Oh, dear me. You and your parents must have had your heads buried in sand. To the best part of my knowledge, she was screwing anything in trousers by the time she was 13.
How can you say
I
that?
don't think she was doing it to bolster her ego or any of that stuff. She loved it. She was mad for sex. That's what made her so attractive.
Attractive? Cherry attractive? Now listen, I doted on her, but she was the plainest girl I ever saw.
You don't know your ass from your elbow. That's who we're talking about. She was made for love.
Are you telling me that you and she were having an...
What do you take me for? She was going to marry me. Don't you think I'd want what she'd been giving every other Tom, Dick and Harry? Besides, she promised me she'd change. Only then I found out she was having it off with that fat slummock Maitland.
Maitland? The bloke who used to be a boss? He must have been old enough to be a father.
Twice over and disgusting with it. You know what she told me? She told me that she needed that old goat because I couldn't satisfy her. I didn't kill her, but if I had, so help me God, that's when I would have done it. To hell. There's no lot to choose between us. In what, for want of a better analogy, might be called the league table of love. We never even got a listing, did we?
He's late. Your watch must be fast. Whatever he's been up to, he won't be late. Dragon's not a late person. You can sit if you want. No.
Just don't do any conjuring tricks.
How are Moscow getting our codes?
Do you think I'm a traitor?
You defected. It's a hard doctrine that the defector is always set apart from one's own, but there it is. In a way, it's a paradox. In order to come over, the defector has to be powerfully attracted to the firm he's going to. And yet...
What he means is, once a traitor, always a traitor. If you can betray Moscow, you can betray us.
But surely the case against me is that I never betrayed Moscow. That I'm still their man. Yes. Well, what do you want me to do?
You must prove that you're ours.
Truly sorry about the other day, but could we please, the three of us, meet and try to talk about this like adults?
I can't see that it would do any good. But if you want...
Oh, thank you, John. Shall we come to you?
If you must.
Well, how about, hang on. After work tomorrow. After work tomorrow?
I'm not doing anything else.
Shall we say 8 o'clock then?
Fine.
We'll see you then. Oh, and John.
Yes?
I'm really, really grateful.
Leviathan to Dragon. Repossess Reynolds' book from Moscow Center.
Aren't you supposed to be at the match?
Sick note.
Okay then.
I should see if Charles is all right.
He's 14, Gloria. He's quite capable of going to the toilet on his own.
Maybe just sloped off to the pictures again. You can always depend on you to think the worst of your brother. Don't say toilet. Common.
We are common. Doing very nicely, thank you. But common.
You speak for yourself.
We've scored a try.
Well played, I think.
No, the other lot.
Oh. Well, at least you can breathe again.
You're all right, my puppets.
Quite comfortable, thank you, Mother.
We're wasting our time.
You might have changed.
I needed a drink. We're not going to get one there, are we? That's for sure.
Now try and behave yourself this time, eh? Hello, John. Garden looks nice.
Would you like a drink?
Well, a glass of wine would be nice. That's if...
No problem.
Oh, leave it alone, darling. Oh, Muscadet, my favorite. Thanks, lovely. To the future. To all our futures.
Right.
You know why we're here, John, so I do want a divorce. And I want it as soon as possible. I've explained why. I'll never come back to you, John. Even if you don't divorce me, I won't come back. Do you understand?
Yes. But you see, if I don't divorce you, I think in time you'll come to see that you'd be better off with me.
He thinks he has the lodestone.
What?
Oh, what does it matter? What does any of it matter? We've just got to make him try and understand. Aren't you going to see who it is?
Not interrupting anything, am I?
Where's the loo?
Upstairs, on the left.
Good God.
Look, Mark, I'm sorry. Jennifer's here.
Oh, sorry. Not a good moment. Sorry. Pop back later.
John, it was wrong of me to marry you on the rebound. I knew that at the time. I realize now it was even more wrong of me to try and make our marriage work.
Please come back.
I can't.
I love you more than I can say.
But that's how I love him. Don't you see?
For God's sake, can we get out of here? Have a heart.
Was that Peter Mullin?
It was. Now, if you don't mind having...
He ditched Jennifer before you met her.
He did. Now look.
When?
What the hell does it matter when?
I've seen him before. With Cherry. Believe me, I took note of my rivals. And I saw him with Cherry just before she was murdered.
That should get us home.
The planning permission, I mean. You haven't heard any more from them?
Well, it's funny you should say that. In fact, I had another letter. Not exactly confirming the first, but saying what amounted to precisely the same thing. A typical case of the left hand not knowing what the right hand's doing.
So, thank God, I won't be long.
What is it? Well done, Dragon. Not that it was a very rigorous test.
No, but this is beyond the call of duty. I mean, if he's still working for them, would you have sent us a photograph of what's obviously their key observation post?
How do we know that it is? It could be a blind. If it's kosher, then how can he have the run of the place?
Point.
I'd say it's all the more reason to lean on him.
Let's check the Moscow Center drop first.
Thank you.
Your call. Heads. Tails.
I've collected a tale.
Where is he?
Across the street by the entrance to the flats.
Moscow Center.
I can deal with it. Let's see at the safe house.
Do you have any trouble losing him?
Piece of cake. Neat operation altogether, I thought.
It'd be a sight neater if I could make head or tail of this.
Same old problem.
There's got to be a way of cracking it.
You said on the phone that you'd got something to tell me.
Are you sure you won't have something to eat?
About Peter.
Yes.
Well, what is it?
It's about why he left you the first time.
Oh.
It had nothing to do with you. It was because he killed someone.
He killed someone?
My sister, Cherry.
Sister? Oh, you're mad. No, really, you should see a doctor.
No, listen, I can prove it. I've checked the dates, they fit. The day he told you that he wasn't going through with the wedding, that was the day they found Cherry's body. Don't you see? It explains everything. They were lovers. They probably quarreled the night before your wedding. He wasn't man enough for her. You see, she was sexually voracious. Insatiable. Do you know, I almost feel sorry for him now. Anyway. Jennifer. I'm sorry. I'm not going to do anything about it. I'm telling you what I mean. I just felt that I don't care about Peter. The only person I care about in the world is you. Jenny?
Are you all right? Get this thing in the car. What are you doing? Jennifer! Jennifer!
Penetrated the Conservative Association HQ at Shanley, thanks to my sister's boyfriend's sister who's temping there. She's doctored the list of the annual wine and cheese party. Leviathan and Medusa will get their invitations next week.
I was hoping for cocktails. Still, good work, Charybdis. Where are we on Operation Autoprox?
The Whitakers have finally coughed up the first 400 of the damages to Mrs. Ralston's car, but it's taken forever. I really think that we should impose a penalty of some sort.
You've just got yourself a job, Basilisk. We'll make that Dragon's next test, with you making sure he plays it straight.
Doing what?
Have a heart, I've only just thought of it.
When we've worked out the details, you'll be notified in the usual manner.
As you know, I've let myself in for this Outward Bound course.
Well, I'm off sailing.
That's the difference between us.
So, we're counting on you lot to keep up with the good work until we get back. Okay, that's it then.
Oh, and anyone who breaks Moscow Centre's code gets a bonus. Damn, watch us on the blink again. Remind me to get a new battery for it.
Did you hear that? He's talking.
Congratulations.
The Gracula ritulosa is the world's best talker. It's better even than your grey parrots.
I'm a turn around. I'm an empty nester.
Excuse me?
Yes?
Do you work here?
Yes, I've been working here for many years and also live here with my wife. Why do you ask?
I was wondering if you'd seen anything unusual going on of late.
You've seen any strange man over there by the steps?
Strange? Not that I could tell. But I've observed many things which to you British seem strange, but not to us. And of course, vice versa.
I suppose so.
I think so. All the same, I'm sorry I can't be of any more assistance to you.
It's okay. Thanks.
I was angry with you before. I was bored with you. I was sick of it all. But I didn't hate you. This has made me hate you, John. No, I didn't know about Peter and Cherry. What good did it do telling me? Did you think it was going to make me jump into your arms?
It's made you feel differently about him, though, hasn't it?
No, of course it hasn't.
I'm not sorry.
Oh, no, you wouldn't be. You got it wrong, though. Totally wrong. I know why Peter left me the last time. He told me.
Why did he?
It's none of your damn business. I'd forgiven him. I'll never forgive you for what you did today.
I was trying to protect you.
But all you've done, apart from hurting me, is to prove that Peter needs me more than ever now. To protect him from other people. Evil-minded people like you. As well as from himself.
What if he goes to prison? What then?
I will never see you again. I will never speak to you again.
Leviathan to Dragon and Basilisk. Find Whittaker fisherman. Remove and eliminate.
Smashing it's going it a bit, isn't it?
He didn't say smash, he said eliminate.
How do you eliminate an old gnome without smashing it?
By using a little imagination. Saving electricity, I suppose.
But the order said...
Only other ranks obey orders blindly, Crawshaw. What sets the officer class apart is its ability to interpret them. Let's do it.
Leviathan to Dragon. Eliminate. Eliminate. Peter Mullin.
Parcel for you, Bean?
You watch. They're out of batteries of mine. Graham lent me his spare. I could cheerfully kill Charles Mapledine.
I'd like to see Detective Chief Inspector Fordridge, please. My name's Creevy. John Creevy.
No, I'm afraid you can't talk to Mungo. He went off on this course at the crack of dawn. Who shall I say called?
It doesn't matter.
Sweetheart!
Here, Mother.
Oh, don't you look lovely this morning? Not that you don't always. There now. Can I have your breakfast?
Well, you were quite right to come and tell us.
Yes. Trouble is, bears no relation to the facts. Sit down, Mr. Creevy. You've got it in for Mr. Mullen, haven't you? Why, took your wife off you, didn't he? I'm not saying you lied deliberately, but you wouldn't be unhappy to see him stitched up, am I right? You see, the thing is, we're not complete fools, Mr. Creevy. We knew about Mr. Mullen and your sister before you did. We had him down as a suspect from the start. We had to eliminate him.
Had to?
Had to. For the good and sufficient reason that at the time of the murder, he was sexually molesting a male minor on the other side of the country. A crime to which he pleaded guilty, for which he was sentenced to probation on the condition that he receive 6 months psychiatric treatment, which he underwent.
Are you all right?
Yes, Clara. It was... Excuse me. Oh, Jennifer. Dear God, Jennifer, what have I done?
I'm off. Give a shout when you've done and he'll give you the £2. Don't bust a gut.
You must be the car cleaner.
And just getting some fresh water.
Let me do it.
Is your son about?
A what?
She, the lady, called out Peter. I thought that must be your son.
That's me.
I'm an empty nester.
Yes? Can't you see I'm busy?
Sorry, Chief.
Well, what is it?
I was wondering, would it be all right for me to take Grack along for the weekend?
Who?
The bird.
Yes. Yes, it'll be fine.
Thanks, Chief. Thanks a million.
Leviathan to Dragon and Basilisk. Cancel. Repeat. Cancel. Peter Mullen mission.
It's fine. How about a cup of coffee?
Okay.
Go on, you might as well take it. Done a good job. So, what made you think a boy lived here?
Mr. Robinson told me.
I don't know any Mr. Robinson.
He knows you.
Are you a scout or something?
Because I cleaned your car? No. I have to go now. Thanks for the coffee.
Might have another job for you in a day or two. Not here. Perhaps we could meet for coffee. Well, look, if you're at a loose end in town, give us a ring at the Poly.
was the movie?
Predictable. Derek Jacobi was good.
Now you're catching up with your holiday work. Good lad. Well, I'll leave you to it. Oh, I went for a checkup with Dr. Cameron today. Seems they're giving your pal Mungo hell on that course of his.
I can imagine. If Mungo didn't say this, then who?
I'll buy him off them. I was going to buy him anyway. I've been saving up.
Then why didn't you tell me? You could have had him at a discount or higher purchase or something.
It doesn't matter. I'll go and see them. I'll tell them there's been a mistake and he's mine.
Gavin, they paid cash. I don't even know their names.
You let him go to somebody you didn't even know.
I can't refuse to let customers have something that's on sale.
I'm sorry.
Yes, Miss Speaker. Check the number of admissions. And if there's any space left, ring the British... Oh, can I help you?
I'm looking for a Mr. Robinson.
There's no Mr. Robinson here. Try personnel.
Thank you. Hello?
What brings you here?
This and that. You said something about having a coffee.
Not now. Can't now. Do you like movies?
Yes.
We could see a film one day, one evening if you like. My treat.
Why not?
Do you know the Fontaine Cinema? They're showing a Japanese film. Sounds like fun. Free tomorrow afternoon?
I could be. Will you pick me up at my house?
I don't think that would be very wise, do you? 5:30 show then. Meet me in the foyer. Don't be late.
Please, whoever's taken our Neil, please, please send him back.
When did you last see Neil?
It was,
It's not right exploiting people like that.
She doesn't have to do it. Friends at the park, just up the road.
Silly sod, she'd have had more sense than to go and accept it from someone he didn't know from Adam.
How can you be so heartless? If anything like that should happen to...
What he was
I should die. I know that. I'd rather die.
Anyone who has seen, or thinks they may have seen, a boy answering this description should telephone 0323
Amazing.
641
Do that again.
390. I'll repeat that number.
Amazing.
0323
Oh, hello.
Hello. Officially, I'm here about Gavin.
Oh, don't tell me you're going to bring the full majesty of the law to bear on him.
Not unless you want to press charges.
Oh, good heavens, no. I've got my work cut out as it is, trying to persuade my firm to keep him on.
Fine.
Oh, look, won't you come in?
Oh, thank you.
How are you going to get home?
Last bus, I expect.
Take a taxi from the station, not a bus. Here. And mind, don't go talking to any strange men.
Cheers. Look, I can't call you... How does one address a lady detective constable?
How about Susan?
This is very agreeable, Susan.
You've been having a rotten time, haven't you?
Oh, yes and no. As a man who's been wrong about so much and made such a mess of his life, it's comforting to know that the nearest I've come to my own mortality was the result of a ridiculous fracas over a minor bird. You're very easy to talk to, Susan.
Comes of reading psychology at university. Look, this isn't entirely a social call. The woman I'm sharing with is getting married. This is a bit of a liberty, I know, but this house, you being alone, I wondered... Look, I pay the going rate. Room, use of bathroom and kitchen. I'm fairly house-trained, and we could sort out the details later. And of course I'm out a lot. In fact, you'd hardly know I was here.
It's not that. It's just that... Well, it was my parents' house, and then my wife. The idea of someone else...
Of course. Forget I asked.
It's just... The idea takes a little bit of getting used to.
I know. Look, I'd better go. Forgive me for bothering you.
I see you bought your car.
Yeah, thought we might go for a drive afterwards, have a picnic or something.
Thanks.
I've got the tickets.
Hi, Ma. Thanks for the wine. John. Listen, I thought we might go out and have a beer. What do you... Oh. Sorry.
You've, only got yourself to blame.
Absolutely.
Nice place you got here. Do you play games?
I don't mind cricket.
I didn't mean those kind of games. Synchronicity. You being in Utting School. That was my alma mater too. That's where I learned about Ecclesia d'Amour. How fitting to be able to complete the circle. I'd say our meeting was meant, wouldn't you? Okay. I didn't mean anything by it, okay? If you felt that way about it, why didn't you say something sooner? Please. Let's try and be a little bit more grown up about this, can't we? I mean, look, it's a free country. Let's not make a whole song and a dance about a little misunderstanding. Please try and keep calm.
Is he dead?
Yes.
Go home before someone else arrives.
What will you do?
I'll make it look all right.
Why?
Because I don't want anyone to know what happened either. Now go.
How do I know I can trust you?
You've no alternative. Now go!
Family's having a hell of a barbecue. Good sailing? Miserable. I've had more fun in Lily White's. How's Outward Bound? Wonderful. You amaze me.
I've got something to tell you. I've done it. Broken Moscow Centre's code. The answer was staring us in the face all the time. There's displays on the Sit West Tower.
I'm not with you.
The photograph Dragon took of the telescope at Moscow Centre should have put me wise.
Go on.
What they do is they start with the date to act on. That's the first number. Then they write the message in the code they directed the previous day or whenever. And then they end with the time in digits. Not 1049, 1049. That's the time the recipient has to look at the displays on the Sit West Tower, note the temperature, and then start to make an alphabetical code from there.
We don't know what the temperature was.
No, but if we use the seasonal average, it works. It works out beautifully.
Clever old you.
This was the eureka factor. If you hadn't lent me your digital watch, I might never have twigged.
Clever old me.
Is Peter here?
Peter? Here? I should have thought this was the last place I wanted to come to.
He was going to the cinema with some friend, someone he was at school with. He said he'd be back by 9 at the latest.
You're a bit previous, aren't you? It's only 11:30.
It looks like we're going to have to find a new safe house after all.
Another bit of Charles Mabeldine's double dealing?
A bit extreme, even for him. A bore, though. Still, we've got the AJ from Moscow Centre now.
What can I say?
How about let bygones be bygones?
Thanks, Chief. I won't let you down.
Arson or accident? Who was the 13-year-old boy a witness claimed to have seen with former child molester Peter Mullin here at the Fontaine Cinema? It was 5 years ago that Peter Mullin was arrested.
Mr. Creevy, you better come in.
May I offer you a drink?
This isn't a social call. We had a report that a motorbike had been seen parked in the vicinity of 53 Ruxeter Road, most recently on the night of the fire. I don't suppose it was yours. We also have evidence that the house is being used as some sort of meeting place by schoolboys. Did you share the dead man's sexual proclivities?
That's a thoroughly offensive suggestion.
I thought probably not.
What am I supposed to do? Thank you?
Well, it's clear Peter Mullin was there with unlawful intentions. What you might have been doing there isn't so clear. Unless you were pursuing your vendetta with your wife's lover. And of course, I can't prove that you took the law into your own hands without dragging a whole lot of kids through the mire.
Then don't let me keep you, Chief Inspector.
I'm a patient man. I just thought you should know that the case will lie on the file.
Don't try to deny it. You were the only person that knew I'd finally cracked Moscow Centre's code.
I wasn't going to deny it.
I wonder why you never told them where the safe house was. Or maybe you did and they just didn't care. I didn't cotton on until... I trusted you.
It's only a game, isn't it?
What difference does that make?
You weren't blackmailed, were you? What would anyone blackmail me for, Bean? Don't call me that! Only my brother calls me that. It was for the hell of it, for God's sake. I did it for fun. You betrayed me for fun. Look, I might as well tell you. I'm leaving Rossingham. I'm starting at Utting next term. What are you doing here?
I've got some things to ask you. I didn't know you smoked.
I don't. I hate the smell. You can stuff your questions. I'm resigning.
Ah. And will Medusa be taking over?
No.
Lunch in 2 minutes.
You'd better go and have your meal. Gentlemen, you're wondering why I suggested this meeting. The fact that you're here is in itself a recognition that so much has changed so fast of late that old alliances have become irrelevant. The logical next step is to review the moral imperatives by which we used to live. In particular, I am thinking of the notion that we should never do anything illegal. It is, I submit, a notion which is only tenable in a just society. To observe it in one which is patently unjust is not merely a handicap but a cop-out and an invitation to ridicule.
Well, if you like to get your teeth into a good murder mystery, we've got more drama from Ruth Rendell coming up next week. George Baker is Inspector Wexford here on ITV3, Monday evening at 9.